Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirits, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys amazing viewers. I sound nasally, I know. I do apologize for my voice. I feel okay, I just sound not very good. Anyway, we're looking at a direct message from Spirit right here, right now. Okay, what you're needing to know. And this is a timeless reading, meaning whenever you click on this video, the message was meant to find you, as long as you resonate, of course, with the reading. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. And if you are returning, I'm so grateful and so glad that you came back here for yet another reading. You guys are all very safe and welcome in this space with me today. So this pick a card reading, we will be looking at this immediate message from Spirit, which you're needing to know. And you will use your own intuition, what you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether the pile is resonating for you. So we'll have a quick energy check at the beginning of each pile, and then we'll look at some pre-shuffled oracle cards that I've not looked at, and we'll be doing a card layout, which will give you the opportunity to tap into your intuition. If you feel connected to your intuition and you want to go straight away to the channeling, you can click on the main reading of that pile, which I will put in the description box and in the pinned comment below. It will take you directly to your pick. So shortly, I will be revealing these 3 cards, which you can click on at any point, 1, 2, 3. And then we will also be pulling a charm for each of these, for those of you guys needing a little bit more guidance into your pick. All right, so option 1, you guys have card 12 with the Sacred Sherpa Guides You Beyond. I apologize if you guys hear a dog barking. Option number 2, number 44, the Wild Red Rider, Blessing Bestowed. Option number 3, we have 32 with the Ancestral Guardians of Light. So let's pull a charm for each of these. For option 1, you guys have this butterfly. I am being called to pull one more charm here for you. An eyelash. An eyelash. I don't know. Maybe this is a dog fur? No, it's an eyelash here. So maybe make a wish here. Pile 1. Or whoever's looking at this, reading this. Option 1, I'm going to pull one more charm. So I was pulling through. Oh, we have this bullet. Looks like a bullet. All right, interesting. Oh, it's got a mind of its own. Where do we put it? I kind of want it over here. Option number 2, you guys have this clamshell. I'm going to pull another charm. Today we've got double charms for each of the piles. So you have this clamshell outline. And for your second charm, you guys have this heart. Okay. Option number 3, you guys have a spiral, and you guys have this, looks like a cherub or an angel. Okay, so let me move this box out of your way. I'll put these, this bullet wants to keep rolling away. Oh my goodness. Let's just put that right there. So sit with this energy and don't overthink. Whichever one calls you towards it, it will most likely be the right pile. If you're pulled to multiple piles, it's absolutely fine. Could mean multiple aspects in regards to your energy here that's being communicated to you, okay, about your situation, maybe people you're dealing with, whatever the case may be, is absolutely okay to have multiple piles here, okay? So I will see you guys at your pick. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 1. You guys pick card 12 with the Sacred Sherpa Guides You Beyond and the butterfly and the bullet charm. for your pick. So we're doing an energy check here with this. And really this is to tap into your intuition. If sounds like something that is resonating for you, then this is most likely your pile. Although sometimes we have to peel back the layers of whatever's being communicated here in order for the full message to come through. Okay, so if this just sounds like something you're not interested in or resonating with, then most likely not your pile. So the Sacred Sherpa guides you beyond. This is really about someone potentially coming into your energy field to inspire you, guide you, and help you to navigate through most likely a challenging situation or a stuck situation. So you could have been stuck in this in a situation for some time, maybe not knowing how to move forward. Okay, so if you haven't been inspired or moved forward just yet from something, but you feel stuck in something. Okay, here we have the red light, we have the railroad tracks, and we're getting from one state to another. So we're transitioning here, but it's really being guided. Okay, and it comes in the form of help, like a person that comes to guide you through, to move you beyond anything that has you stuck. And so we might have felt very chained or shackled to the situation or the circumstance. And so it's like this way is being made, you know, almost like a blessing or something that is divinely guided here. Of course, it is the divine, but it's manifesting through way of people, you know, through way of people that come in here, or a specific person. So it could be we have some sort of understanding based on learnings, you know, like let's say we take a course, so we can understand something in order to make different decisions. Like we're being led by this new energy, and generally it is, like I said, through a form of a person, but it could be someone who is training us or teaching us or inspiring us or providing us with some insight in order for us to help our own selves get out of a situation. Okay, because really no one can get you out of a situation but yourself. So it's kind of like a guru or a leader or someone who inspires you or aids you or comes in at the right time to get you out of something that might have felt like it was unmovable. Okay, so we have the butterfly, which is all about the transformation. I feel this is about your situation transforming, like coming into its fullest sort of state here with the butterfly, because the butterfly goes through certain phases. You know, first it's an egg or whatever the butterfly is in, and then it's a caterpillar, and then it's this full-fledged, or I guess it goes through the chrysalis, and then it's this full-fledged butterfly. So the butterfly is the fullest state. I feel like whatever situation was stuck, it's transforming here to the fullest state, which will allow there to be movement in whatever is happening. And the fact that we have this bullet, like I feel like this is happening quite quickly, quite rapidly, you know. And I just heard a near miss. Like I feel like this near miss is like I feel like whatever situation you're in has to move, you know, like everything's perfectly timed, like it has to move. And you sort of moving forward or finding some sort of way through allows you to get out of like something that could have been potentially hurtful or impacting you in a negative way. I feel here, like I feel like there's something here that is really timely, you know, very timely here, preventing further pain or something that could have been very, I don't know, devastating in some way. Let's see, that's a weird energy that pulls through, but I feel like you're protected here for sure from whatever this is in such a divinely timed way. So we have Dancer of Lies. Okay. And we have Spirit of Empowerment. So we will get into your channeling, but I like to sit here with this energy for a bit because I do feel like you get empowered to move through something. And in order to get empowered, our mind has to be on board. We have to have buy-in from ourselves, you know, and I feel like the buy-in we get is generated, like I said, most likely through some sort of understanding of either a guru or a person that helps or provides us with some sort of, I don't know, guidance. And with this lies here, I feel like maybe there was some understanding you had, you know, under the guise of someone else's instruction or your belief in something, or your maybe there was an illusion about something, you know, maybe you're misled about something. And so there was this feeling of feeling like you had to, I don't know if you had to wait, but that you couldn't move, you know, or you couldn't proceed or have progress in some area here. A merry motive, number 20. A merry motive. Okay, so we have a bunch of stars hanging on the clothesline. Yeah, like look at this stall, like a red light. We have all these stars on a clothesline, like they're stalled out, like all these wishes sitting here on a clothesline. Okay, interesting. Let it go. 24 more stars. And so in order for us to move forward, maybe we had to accept some sort of release of something here. 2 hummingbirds with a string around this heart. 24, number 5. And we have break free. Look at that. You're being asked to break free from the tribe in order to live your authentic life. This isn't easy, but it's very necessary. If you're going to share your true self with others, be brave, be real, be you, and trust that those you love will always be there for you. Oh my goodness. And this is the shackles I was feeling here. I think you're breaking free. Here's the tree. It says ash. So ash is a very, very sturdy tree. The wood, ash wood, is very resilient here. And look at the roots on this tree. Very solid. Trees talk about health, talk about the family lineage. They talk about structure and stability. Talk about the length of something too. I feel like something's taken quite some time. Lost compass, getting back to integrity, 35, or the number 8. We have 2 people here in blue robes or hooded robes. Yeah, and look at this yin yang. And they're sitting in this, or standing in this archway to this open field. Green field, and they're hand in hand. Yin yang could be the dark and the light, or the masculine, feminine energy. Balance. So here we have the farmer, and the farmer is sowing its seeds. Sowing its seeds. So he sows its seeds, and then look at this tree. Like in order for this seed to grow into this would be not in our lifetime, you know. So what's going on here? Let's see. We have denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight and awareness. So we had lies. So we were saying, was there some sort of illusion? Now we have denial. So there was something we were understanding or believing that potentially we had to let go of in order to move forward. Very emotive. Look at the mask. So this falls with this lies. 24. So we have 2 24. So you might want to look up angel number 2424. But the mask could be where we're not authentic, or we're having to, I don't know, play a role of someone we're not, or we're not seeing the truth of something. Something's masked up here. And 25 with healing with Mother Nature. So this couple's looking at the green field, which is definitely Mother Nature here. And we're sowing seeds here in a garden. Healing with Mother Nature. Okay, so let's look at this merry motive. This is the only one I kind of want to read here. I don't know if this is, no, this is the wrong box. Let me grab the booklet. So, Merry Motive number 20. Okie dokie. It says, a merry motive. Key concepts: knowing your own motives, understanding what drives you to meet your goals, the momentum your attention creates, the wisdom behind your intentions. You've chosen a path, you've set an intention, and you've begun to move towards a goal. You feel compelled to keep going. But do you know the why behind this drive? Do you truly want what you're pursuing? Or are you chasing a destination with the anticipation of how it will make others feel about you, or you feel about yourself? You must choose to be in the flow of the experience, relishing relishing, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, you guys. relishing the moment. Surrender your expectations to a higher power rather than being guided by your limited self. Okie dokie. The most important aspect to consider now is where you place your focus, because that's where the energy will flow. If you are resentful, the outer world will show you more opportunities to be resentful. If you're envious of others, competitive, or overly ambitious, you will always feel as if you're not enough. If you focus on gratitude, compassion for others, you will see even more reasons to be grateful and loving. When you look for abundance, it has an uncanny way of multiplying in your life. So if you're unsure about your motives, the result will be just as unclear. Dig deep to understand your why. If your true desire is to experience X, let go of your attachment to the form that X is supposed to come in. Make sure your motive is merry and joyful, clear and honest, and aim true. Trust that the universe will provide the outcome that is perfect match for your intention. It always does. Okie dokie. This makes a whole lot of sense now. So this form of this person is most likely potentially your own self here. Okay, in the form of a person. So let me tap into this energy. Although what I do want are some tarot cards, and I'm not sure what this calls for here. Let's pull these ones because we might need some tarot in a little bit, but I will sit here with this energy to channel what this messaging is. Okay, you can skip on the direct channeling, and we'll see what this is all about. What do I use? Let me use this one. Okay, pile one. This is the message. Okay, some of you guys are really tired of hearing me say this thing, you know, but if you're still here and you click on this, and maybe you keep clicking away because you don't feel it's your message, because I feel someone under this guise is in some sort of illusion to self. Okay, like they really truly are, but there should be a ring of truth to this, that you know there's something within you. There's some sort of outcome you want, okay? And you're okay to want an outcome. It's a dream, it's a wish, it's a hope that you're truly entitled to get, okay? But I feel like the energy here in which we're going about getting this or attaining this thing is what is preventing you from attaining what it is that you want. So, for a perfect example, I want to be loved. You know, I want to be in a loving relationship, okay? But all the energy that we're doing is focused on one specific individual that we're trying to force some sort of timing or outcome, or to have some sort of relationship with this said individual, rather than putting to the universe that I'm worthy of love, and I'm going to stand in my best energy to allow the universe to bring the right type of people towards me. So there's some form of in denial happening here. Okay, so the in denial here is that we're really in love or pulled to someone. Okay, it could be a situation, but I feel like it's a someone is what I feel like, because I do feel it is really in the heart here, but it could be something that you're really just passionate about, you know, and believing to have some sort of maybe creative pursuit here, that you're in some fantasy land about it happening in the exact way you want. But that's the small percent of you, so you'll have to put it into context here. I'm going to stick to matters of the heart, which is relationship. Okay, so you're allowed to want someone, and you're allowed to feel like you need someone. Okay, you can feel these ways all you want, but what Spirit is really showing here is that there is an illusion going on in the mind, and the illusion of the mind here is that we have one sort of fixed outcome or understanding of what will bring us this true happiness and what it looks like. And Spirit is saying you don't know what it looks like. Okay, that your truest desire and wish here is only stalled out because of your own inability to trust the universe and to let go of this idea that you have, that you're really fixed on, of how this is supposed to pan out. Okay, so this message is coming through, and it comes through quite often here when I communicate it. Sometimes we use our own ego and dress it up, like I say, masquerading as empowerment. Okay, so we make decisions, and these decisions that we make, we say to ourselves openly and consciously that we're doing it for the greatest good of whatever the situation or circumstances. But when we scratch the surface and we really look at why we're making this decision, there's an ulterior motive here, and we're trying to force some sort of change, some sort of outcome, someone's idea or opinion, or force someone's hand to say or do something that lines up with our wish. So I'm going to do what I can to manipulate, we might not use those words, but out of either out of my action or lack of action, okay, I'm going to manipulate the situation to get to my outcome. And we're not seeing that. And so all we're seeing is that we hang on to the story we tell ourselves, which is lies and denial, that what we're doing is in the best interest of said situation. And all we see is the empowerment there, but I feel empowered here. But I feel like this is the position that I'm standing strongest in. And sometimes, Spirit says, when we're standing in the position of power, it is actually resistance and protection and trying to control something. Sometimes being in the position of being completely vulnerable and missing out on what it was that we thought, or have the risk of losing out, or allow that thing to be let go, is when this thing comes to us. So we're actually doing the opposite of what we want. Okay, we're doing the opposite here by trying to force an outcome by way of either avoiding or controlling or manipulating the situation energetically and dressing it up as something that we're in control, or that we're doing something for the benefit. So I feel like Spirit is showing there's a situation that's been stuck and that could transform here. Okay, and with this near miss, I feel like this is really talking about divine protection here, okay? And the divine protection happens when we get rejected by whatever situations or circumstance happen for a very good reason, because it's not the right timing, or it's not in the way that something's supposed to unfold, and only does the divine know why this would be, okay? So we like to think we know what it is that we want, and if it were up to us, we would hope to attain whatever it was that we want, and then our whole lives would look completely different and potentially not what it is that we want, okay? Because what we sometimes think we want might be the worst thing alive, you know? Sometimes we take a job thinking it's what we want, and then we experience it and it's nothing like what we expected or wanted. And sometimes it's like, oh, I didn't really want to go to this party or this thing, and then we go and it's like the most fun we had, and we're so glad that we met such and such, and we're divinely sort of engaged with going to the party, that we made all sorts of plans for the future that impact us. So we don't know, is what I'm saying here, okay? And so the only thing that we can focus on is allowing ourselves to release any expectation of anything here that we're trying to tell ourselves is the right thing, because it's not. It really isn't. Whatever position you're taking and telling yourself, I'm doing this because this is going to do X, Y, Z, we're supposed to be questioning our intention. Okay, X, Y, Z for what? What is the benefit here? I feel like if there's you trying to have some sort of outcome of idea of what you feel you deserve, I feel this needs to be reviewed. Okay, now this doesn't mean you don't deserve happiness. This just means your idea of what it is you deserve is skewed here. And so you're thinking that this way of doing it is the only way to come about it. So I feel like what this message from Spirit is, there is a breakthrough here, okay? And I feel like this breakthrough is you coming to this understanding. And I don't know if you're here at this reading and you already uncovered this or heard this in my other readings or just know this intuitively, but I feel like you're going to come to understand this. And I hope I don't have to keep delivering this same message, only because, you know, I feel like, I don't know how many of you guys are here, like under this same sort of situation, but I feel like this continues to be a message here. And so I'm hoping whoever is listening to this finally understands and sees this. And I feel like this is what it's saying, is like, you're going to see this. And I feel like it's going to rapidly shift here and transform the situation for you. Because the only transformation we could truly have in any situation is when we allow ourselves to surrender, let go. And when the true intention comes out, the mask falls, and now we can truly sow the real seeds of what can grow to be stable. You know, like something that is an illusion or based on lies is tower energy. It can't grow to this tree. And I think what you want is something that is stable, something that has depth, something you can rely on, something that is healthy. But I feel like whatever you're focused on energetically, okay, whether you're admitting it or not, your energy and your action and energy is feeding a situation here that's stalling out to this stability and the security. Because in way of action, you're supporting some belief you have here and something else being the thing. And for a lot of you guys, like I said, it could be partnership. So I feel there's a mega imbalance. There's a need to see your shadow self and bring it into balance here. Because the shadow self is the greedy self here. Okay, the greedy self here that puts itself sort of at the helm, even above the universe, thinking it knows how something's supposed to unfold. So when we're in that mindset, we think we know more than the universe. You know, and we're also thinking we know what's best for other people or other situations, especially if there's other people involved. No, we don't. Who are we? You know, who are we to know what the best thing is? We don't. All we could do is be open to the divine and allow things to unfold. And so we might feel very let down when our dreams are just held here in stagnation, you know, so it might make us feel bitter or sad or like nothing's happening. And the universe here is showing the only reason this is happening is not because of anyone else, but our own inability to get out of denial, let something go, accept that we might have understood something, but it isn't the clear truth. And this is where true empowerment comes from. Because I feel like there is a sense of empowerment in doing what you're doing here, but it's really creating the opposite and stalling things out. So we want true liberation and freedom. We don't want to be shackled to a situation where we feel stalled out. So if you feel stalled out in whatever situation, that's the truth of the matter. Okay, so the only way to transform this is to allow ourselves to let go and move. And whatever's meant for you won't pass you by. It will catch up to you here, okay? But I feel like this is rapid movement here. So I do feel like an 8 of Wands here in way of whatever's supposed to transform. And this protection is happening for a reason. Like the bullet, like I said, near miss. It's like if we were to get what we wanted, it wouldn't be good. Okay, it wouldn't. No matter how much you want to believe that that was what you wanted, the universe knows that's not what you wanted, okay? Now I'd go into a whole tributary of the stories of people who thought what they wanted, got what they wanted, or didn't get what they want, or and it morphed into a whole series of steps of almost like a butterfly effect. If that didn't happen, this wouldn't have happened. And if that didn't happen, then that wouldn't have happened. And their whole life would have been completely different based on one little thing. So And this is what this bullet is telling me, okay? Because all it takes is this being in one place, the wrong time to get hit with this bullet, okay? Very precise. And so there's precision here in regards to the universe and how it's unfolding. So we got to allow the precision to happen as it does and not be in an energy of thinking we know more, you know? This is denial. So, Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Pile number 1. Can we add to this message? Am I missing something? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Thank you so much, pile 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. Spirit, what else does pile 1 need to know? Am I missing something? Any questions they might still have regarding this reading? It's way too many. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. I'm being called to pull 2 more. Okay. So, 6 cups. Situation. This is a memory, a place, person, thing of the past. Okay? So there's something in the past that touches our heart space, like I said. Okay? This is sometimes known as the soulmates card, but it's a person, place, or thing of the past. The memory. So let's see. What's going on here? We have 9 pentacles. We have the lovers. Okay. Lovers is Gemini. So we have the 7 cups. So 6 cups, 7 cups, 10 cups in reverse. We have the Fool. Aquarius energy. We have the Son of Pentacles, which is the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Hierophant in reverse, Taurus energy. We have the 9 Swords in reverse. We have the Son of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords in reverse. We have the 5 Wands in reverse. And we have the 8 Wands, which I was definitely feeling from that bullet, so I'm not surprised to see that. And then, yeah, we have the Mother of Cups, which is the Queen of Cups in reverse. Same messages that I deliver here sometimes on my love readings, you guys, and you'll know what it is I'm about to say. And you might think that this isn't for us. 8 Pentacles in reverse. So, 8 Pentacles in reverse. Okay? This is like us not doing the work we're supposed to be doing, or the committed to the work that we're supposed to be doing. Sometimes it could be, I just don't do it because I feel maybe I wouldn't be good at it, or whatever the reason might be. There is some sort of sabotage when I see 8 Pentacles in reverse, but sometimes it could just mean incapable or not doing the right work, or just not the right skill or talent or the commitment or the dedication in the right area to get to the right results. Okay, so what I see here is a 9 Pentacles. And so I know sometimes I always read the 9 Pentacles in the shadow, because I feel like with the 9 Pentacles here, I'm really feeling this empowerment. And so what this is telling me is the right energy going towards what is actually empowerment? Because this is the confidence, standing in self, you know, being capable. But I feel like we're not putting it in the right empowerment. And I feel we feel empowered here. Nothing wrong with feeling empowered, but when we feel empowered, but at the risk of what? And not attaining what we want here, there's a problem. If the intention here is just to feel empowered for the sake of it, but we're not attaining any sort of positive experience, then what's the point of feeling empowered here? Or if it's at the, I don't know, like at the risk of everything else in some way, or hanging up or stalling up any sort of wishes or desires, then what's the point of being empowered? So we need to know, what is this true sense of empowerment here, and where are we putting our energy? Okay, because I feel like there's a situation of the past. I feel it's a relationship or something here that we're wanting. We're wanting love, or wanting to pursue, or wanting reconciliation, or wanting someone to go in a certain way. Okay, it's very open here. And so we see this beautiful potential on the table here with this 10 cups. And it's like, I'm going to keep the things confusing here. And by not focusing my energy towards what is actually truthful And the truth is, I really absolutely need to get empowered here so that love can come in. But when I keep things very confusing because of my actions or telling the universe one thing, then I keep things very open. It doesn't allow for this full 10 pentacles to enter my life. And so what I need to do is completely surrender and trust the universe and move forward. That's what I need to do. No baggage. Totally free. Trust the universe. Take that leap of faith. Okay, this is when I manifest. This is when I move forward. Yes, it might move slowly here, but as long as we can move forward, then we have manifestation. But if we're doing anything else, masquerading, dressing it up as being empowered, but we're, I don't know, like energetically waiting on someone or sending an energy, you know, towards whatever the situation is, the more stalled out we are. So I feel like you wanted some sort of commitment, you wanted something to change, you wanted something to turn around here. There's a lot of anxiety around it, and so energetically we get stalled out here, you know. And I feel like somebody could have definitely ghosted, okay, with this Knight of Swords in reverse and these Five of Wands. It's like somebody could have ran or ghosted or just did the wrong thing here. Okay, so I don't know what sort of energy we're putting in here, but I feel like maybe we're doing tit for tat. And this could be the sense of empowerment. Somebody ran or someone wasn't stand up. And so now I'm showing I'm not committed. And so I just block. Okay, like I block. I don't want nothing to do with this person. Like, okay, but where's that stemming from? Because I feel like when we scratch the surface, there's more going on here. You know, than a bruised ego. That's just acting out of tit for tat or mirroring someone else's action. You're doing this, I'm doing that. Now I'm empowered. Yeah, but are we getting what we want here? Okay, so I feel like we're in some sort of angry energy. I call it angry. You could call it whatever you want. You could say empowered. You could say I'm no longer angry. Whatever action you're doing, I think, is to massage some sort of outcome here. Okay, and I feel like we're not happy about it here with this Queen of Cups in reverse. It's like I'm gonna hold back my love, or I'm not going to be compassionate here. You know, it's like, why do I need to be the bigger person? Why do I need, if I'm any bigger, I'm gonna blow up? Why do I need to? Okay, well then you want to be in that energy that's self-serving. So when we're in self-serve energy, all we see is more self-serving things come to us. When we're hurt and upset, all we experience is more situations that make us more hurt and upset. So there's breaking out of this energy, and the only way to break out of this energy is to be honest and see truth and move forward completely unshackled here, trusting the universe, surrendering, knowing that your future, whatever you want to build here, okay, whatever solid thing you want, whatever 10 of Pentacles thing you want, whatever soulmate you want come your way, or whatever you want, you can get, but not in this energy. It's not going to happen. Okay, you're just going to keep repeating whatever it is that you're already experiencing here, which I feel is not good with the 9 swords in reverse. Okay, so the universe wants you to experience what you want. It's not blocking you in any way. The only thing that's blocking you is your own inability, okay, to precisely trust the universe, because you feel like you can, I don't know, attain something here that you feel you're deserving of, or that you want, or that you're trying to manipulate as the thing that it should be, or how it should go. So let's give you some guidance or some advice here, okay? Because I know we don't like to hear this message, but someone needs to hear it. And if it's not your message, then it's not your message. Maybe one person. There we go with the 8 of Wands again. So do we need to communicate with someone? Do we need to get it off our chest so we can move forward? If you feel a certain charge, okay, because emotionally or just whatever wasn't said, you still have to say, but you're waiting for the perfect time. You're, I don't know, there's some understanding you have here. Spirit is saying, get this communication off your chest. Who cares? Eat your ego. If you're the first person that has to go back to reconcile or to say, hey, here's my feelings, or here's what I think. Even if it's not a reconciliation, it's like, here's what I think, here's what it made me feel. And this isn't out of trying to force someone to be different or to get any sort of outcome other than speaking something we truly feel. Okay, now, but we need to know, are we feeling in a certain way only because the ego is hurt? And so our understanding is twisted here. Or are we fully understanding the situation we're in, that we could speak a greater truth? But I feel like there's something we need to say in order to be able to move forward that we might be holding back here. Okay, and so in order to break free, in order to find liberation so we can move forward, the only way we can do this is if we know after I speak this truth or after I communicate what I need to, I'm in an energy that I can let go. I'm not trying to attain some sort of something else here, or I'm not going to say this in order to generate anything or expect anything other than me then understanding my only thing is to move forward, because this will allow me to speak my truth so I can break free from something. But if I'm like constantly thinking about something here that hasn't been said, then, you know, I'm kind of stuck here at this red light. Yeah, look at that, 6 cups. So person, place, thing of the past that I keep mulling over here, and it doesn't let me move forward. Here's the mask, the dropping of the mask. So I got to be honest. And here's the Emperor in reverse. So I'm in my shadow. I want control. I want it my way. And my ego is getting in the way. You know, whatever, however it is that I want it to go. So my idea of what I want it to go is Emperor in reverse. My way or highway, because I believe that it is to be right. Okay, but that's just the egoic self here. That's the masked self. That's the hurt self speaking. That's an understanding you have. That doesn't mean it's right. Okay, and I feel it's dressing it up as empowered, because now we feel in control of something here. But I feel like this goes deeper. So like Dr. Phil says, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Because everyone's right in their own perspective. It doesn't matter. So I feel like there could be a breakthrough here, okay? But we have to be open and communicate. And maybe this is communicate with ourselves with some honest truth so we could see clearly with the striking of the lightning. Because I feel there could be a working together. There could be something manifested. We can work together, okay? But look at this big old mountain. The big obstacle here is your energy. You're getting in the way of you coming together to work on something. Yeah, look at this. Ace of Swords in reverse. We're not seeing a truth. 6 of Wands, because the ego is getting in the way. And we want to be right, or we want the victory. Okay, like this isn't a good combination here, because it's like how I might appear, or how, yeah, this is like other people sort of celebrating our wins or how they see us, you know, in the public eye, or like some sort of victory that we want. We want to have the victory in our way. You know, this is what a victory looks like, but is it really? Is it in line with the greatest truth of what victory actually looks like? Is victory actually allowing everyone to be happy? Allowing people to be loved? Is that a true victory? Or is true victory winning something here? What we think is winning. 4 Pentacles. So we're fixing our position. Okay, so this isn't good. This is the false emperor. Okay, the 4 Pentacles. And we have this emperor. So the true emperor has an empire that stands regardless if he's there or not. It's been built over time and it's solid. Okay, but the false emperor has to hang on. And it's very tiring energy, because there's lack mindset. If I let go, my empire falls. And it's like, well, then it's not a true emperor. It's something based on a heaviness we have to carry, or an understanding of lack. So I feel there's a lack mindset here that we're keeping alive, that doesn't allow there to be flow. Okay, and the more we trust and feed this thing, because we don't trust the universe, the more we experience this lack. And so I feel like we're blocking the manifestation here because of our inability to see the great truth. So I don't know, is this you? Is this someone you're dealing with? Look at that, Son of Cups. So something in the heart space here that needs to be expressed, how we love, how we show love. Okay, so maybe we're with the Queen of Cups in reverse here, we're withholding our love, or how we feel, expressing how we feel because we want something in a certain way. Well, we don't need to withhold anything. You know, we can allow our heart to flow freely. If we truly love, there's no expectation of having anything come straight back in return. We just trust the universe that it will, however it's supposed to. The universe controls this. Okay, there's more abundance to go around. If we think there isn't, then we're in lack mindset. So the more love I give, the more I receive. That's laws of the universe. The more I'm giving, it exists because I'm giving it. And so now it exists and it manifests. If I'm withholding it, not seeing it, not expressing it, not feeling it, is no longer there in my experience. And so there I don't see it. I don't see the love. And so this is why they say if we are in an energy of whatever it is, of lack, we experience more lack. If I don't give it, I don't experience it. I don't see it. But if I give, I start to experience it. So do you want to feel it, see it, and live it? And then we got to be in line with it. But if we're in Emperor in reverse energy and Mother of Wands energy, angry or putting on a show or trying to get some sort of win or acting out of bruised ego or resentful or not seeing something clearly and authentically and speaking a great truth, even if it puts us in a vulnerable position of hurt, but we know it's honest and allows us to move forward, then let's have this honest truth. Why can we not be vulnerable? We can't be vulnerable because the bruised ego needs to be healed, you know, or we're too concerned with how we might appear with other people here. But I feel like there's something here. And look at this artistry, very similar. Something here that goes back, okay, and it could be really deep rooted in our childhood of why we are doing what we're doing. So you need to know self, but I feel there's something here we could manifest with these deep, deep roots that will stand the test of time. Okay, and you yourself seen it as a 10 pentacles for yourself. So this is beautiful. Look at this stability. Okay, it can't be blown over, but we got to do it right. If we do it in a way that is not built on authenticity, then it can't be rooted in this way. And we just stay blocked here. Blocked, okay? So there's absolutely a way to be broken free here and have things move. Okay, but it relies on honest clarity of seeing something, taking action and truth, and speaking a truth, and really knowing how we feel. What are our intentions and motivations here? Okay, because your heart's going to know what your intention motivation is. But remember, it might be masquerading around as heart, but it's not. It's really ego, because this shadow is very loud. And so if it feels urgent, if it's any form of negativity, then it's not heart. The heart only knows to give without expectation. The heart has no desire to attain anything. It just wants to give, and it doesn't put any judgment on nothing. Okay, if there's any of that, that's not coming from heart. That's coming from the egoic self that thinks there's scarcity and lack. And there is no scarcity and lack. Just the ones you're creating here based on an understanding you have. So, this is your message, beautiful pile one. I hope this helped you. You can definitely transform this, you know, then you're truly free. I feel you want to be free. I don't feel you want to be shackled here. I think if this really resonates for you, you're somebody here who really, really wants to be free, because you can no longer suffer here. And this is your message, okay? Otherwise, you're kind of half in, half out, and then maybe this isn't your message, because this is someone who's really shackled and suffering here, who needs to transform out of this situation because it's been very, very stuck. And no doubt it's painful. It's very fixed here. Okay, very fixed. And this is tiring because I feel this has been ongoing for quite some time. We don't need to be here anymore. It's time to let this go. Okay, pile one. This doesn't mean let go of your dream and your hope. You know, give up on your dream and your hope. This just means let the situation go so that your dreams can come in, not to be hung up here. Not to be hung up here. Okay, it all comes back to energy. Pile number one. That's your reading. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number two. You guys picked 44 with the Wild Red Rider, Blessing Bestowed, and the Charm of the Heart, and the Clam Shell. So this card is all about trusting the heart, following the journey of the heart and not the mind, because whatever this is does not make any sense to the mind. Okay, and when we talk about allowing the heart to sort of lead the journey, we have to know what true surrender is. Okay, and true surrender here might be very, very, very difficult when we first understand this concept of what it means to fully surrender. Okay, and surrender doesn't mean giving up. Surrender is trusting the universe and divine order, and sometimes it goes completely upside down, and so it might make us feel out of control, and so we might have the tendency to want to maintain some sort of order and control, but as we know, we don't control anything really, just the illusion of control. Okay, so there's an illusion of control, but that causes suffering, because at any point the mind might not understand what's going on, and then it creates some sort of chaos. So there's a need to trust the heart. Okay, and so with the shell, I mean, the shell always has this hard exterior that could mean some sort of defensive energy, you know, protective energy, that we might be trying to protect ourselves or something inside, but this shell is just an outline here. So what does this mean? Is there some sort of a void here on the inside? Like, what's going on? Do we feel a little empty here or something like this? I don't know, but the universe is talking about potentially things going completely sort of chaotic here in order for them to totally align you and for you to learn some sort of trust. Okay, so let's take a look at this pile and see what your messaging is here from the divine. We have Dancer of Friendship. Okay, and we have Hunter of Abundance. And we have Hunter of Death. Oh my goodness. And we have 40, the Land Between. Look at that transition. The Land Between. And we have Give. And one of the best feelings we can experience is giving to others. When we do so, we feel lifted up and our lives improve greatly because of someone else's happiness. Think of one way you can give to another today. So, you know, in order to create abundance, we have to have a mindset of abundance. The more we give, the more we receive. Corvid. Okay, it's like a crow here. So this talks about death as well. And we have the Hunter of Death. And we have Feast of Plenty, choices and their consequences. 2 swords. Card number 20 or number 2. I'm getting 2 of Swords energy. Maybe there's an indecision or a need for a decision of sorts here. We have the square box. This is giving me mind. The square box. Get outside the box. Oh, wow. Hello. Sorry. Surprised you guys. We have Divine Masculine in all his glory. He looks like he's happy to see you. And then we have this altar. I don't know. This kind of looks like a birthday cake or an altar of sorts. Some sort of religious thing. And we have indecision. So we're feeling that with 2 swords. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. And we have the cross. So we were getting religious thing here. But the cross could mean is a suffering. You know, we have to bear some sort of burden here. Or have bared some burden or carried some sort of pain. But it could be religion as well. You know, something maybe spiritual even. Number 12 or the number 3. And then we have learning from social conflict. 23 or the number 5. Okay. Let's put Mr. Happy over here. Okie dokie. Let me sit here with this energy. You guys can skip on the main channeling here. Choices and their consequences and indecision. Interesting. Okay. This is kind of not a very deep message. I mean, it could get quite wordy here, but on the surface, it boils down to a need to trust the divine, like I said. And how we trust the divine has nothing to do with what we mentally sort of understand or comprehend. Because I think we cannot comprehend something here. Okay, like no matter how much we try to think, I think it's outside the box. I don't think it falls into regular sort of social beliefs. And so it creates conflict here in our world. It's because it might contradict something that we understand. This part has to fall away here, okay? And the only reason why I say has to is because unless you want to be in suffering and not grow and stay where you're at, then you can continue thinking you're right. Okay, and so I don't know if Spirit's giving me these messages to deliver here. Sometimes I'm delivering quite beautiful messages. Not that this isn't beautiful, but sometimes we don't like hearing, you know, that we've done anything wrong. And people don't like to hear that they've done anything wrong, and they want to hear that they're doing everything right. But the best way to kind of heal and grow is to understand where we might be doing something stalling ourselves. And so I feel like the stalling here is if we start to talk ourselves out of what is actually going on. So we need to trust. We need to allow the shift to happen. We're in a transition. It may not be pleasant. We might sometimes take one step forward or one step backwards in order to go forwards, which doesn't make sense when you're stepping backwards because it feels like the progress isn't happening here. But I feel like what Spirit is saying is there's a need to trust in this process here. Okay, so you are being aligned with abundance, and I feel like there is generosity here that could be coming your way, but we need to keep the flow of energy open here and not blocked. And so I feel like we could easily fall into looking logically at what we've experienced and just making a conclusion in our mind that we don't want to experience pain or whatever, and then try to support to that logic, which makes sense. I don't want to experience pain, and therefore I'm going to maintain or do whatever this thing that it is that I'm doing here. But when spirit sees that there is no growth or understands something deeper, okay, more on a spiritual level, that's it, all it's doing is really stalling us out and actually not growth and actually not in our highest good. And then sometimes we get pushed into a corner and our whole thing gets shaken upside down. And we might not like this. And the reason it gets shaken upside down is in order for there to be massive change and shift. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it. So maybe people in our life start to look certain ways. And I feel like what this requires is it requires you to be vulnerable, and it also requires you to know when you're supposed to be taking action. But I feel there's a sense of humility in knowing that I am not the doer here that's going to create whatever it is that's supposed to be given upon me, that there is abundance in the universe happening all the time. And it doesn't matter if I'm actively pursuing something or doing something to attain it, and that the abundance, it either exists or it doesn't. And so if I believe in a lack of abundance, and that's going to be the world I experience. If I believe that there's abundance and it's out there, it doesn't matter if I'm, like pursuing it in such a way to think that I'm like conquering something or in control of something. That's the mind that thinks it's a doer, that thinks it's achieving something. Okay, you're not. You're just burning and turning. You can burn and turn all you want. It doesn't matter to the universe. The only thing that matters to the universe is the absolute truth. Okay, so crystals don't matter, tarot don't matter, oracles don't matter, what you think don't matter. None of this matters to the purest self. The purest self is the being. And that is the divine being that is there, untainted and the absolute truth. Okay, the unwavering truth exists whether we believe in it or not. And so what it's doing here is moving you forward so that there is growth for you, so that you can experience abundance in your world, so you can receive it. But we have to shift our energy, and the shifting of the energy, unfortunately, requires us to let go of old mind patterns, fixed ways, thinking inside a box. And we might pride ourselves on being intelligent or knowing a bunch of things, but really we're still in a box. The only way to get out of the box is to know we know nothing. Okay, to be a multidimensional being that understands that there's so many things we don't know. That's it. And that this and that could be true in the world we live in based on people's perception, but that there's one sort of absolute truth that only the divine knows here. Okay, and so we know nothing. We only have our perception. So our perception here is something that needs to be taken only as that, okay, as an experience, as a perception. But when we transform here, we need to trust the universe, that the universe is going to pull us through without being defensive, without making excuses. Because I feel here, there's a big hole here, okay? Even though you're whole and complete, you feel a big hole. I feel like you feel disconnected from people, or disconnected from relationship, or there's some sort of lack mindset here. And so we're not quite sure what we're supposed to be doing, or what sort of action maybe we're supposed to be taking, and maybe we're contemplating, and we're in this sort of energy, and it's like we're just suffering for no reason. Maybe there is no decision to take. Maybe we feel like we're in control of something, and so we feel like maybe by doing something we'd get a different result or an outcome. And the spirit is just saying the abundance is there, regardless of sort of where you're at. If there's a need to take action, then there's a need to take action and trust in the divine, even if it contradicts your logical brain. Okay, if it's something that sounds outside the box, or that sounds like it might not be, I don't know, like making a whole lot of sense to you, but it intuitively feels right in the heart, and then lead with the heart. Allow the heart to guide, okay, not what we believe in the mind. Because I think we're resisting something of what we're feeling, and we keep kind of going back to the mind, and then we're feeling empty. We're not fulfilling something here. So divine just wants you to fulfill this and know that the abundance is there. The only reason we're not. You guys might want to go see pile 1, okay, because this could be definitely tied to that. So we got the 6 of Cups and the Ace of Swords in reverse. So a person, place, of the thing that keeps replaying in our mind. We're not seeing some honest truth about it. And so I feel like this could be, the mind. But it's saying, okay, don't use the mind because it's not in the mind. But this is also saying that the real authentic truth, the real clarity comes from leading with the heart space. Okay, not the illusion of the mind, the perception or the experience we have, because we're not seeing clearly when we lean on that perception. It's real to us, but it has no bearing on what the great truth is here. So some situation of the past here, I feel, okay, person, place, thing of the past is replaying, I don't know. And it could be also talking about something within the childhood here that is not allowing us to work with authentic self or see some great truth here about ourselves, which is that our mind doesn't really have the final say or control. It just gets in the way of truth and clarity of the authentic self. So we're tapping into this spiritual side of the divine within us, okay, that is all-knowing when it comes to the truth of abundance, because the mind likes to think, well, if everything is happening at once and abundant, why is it not all on my lap at once? Well, the universe is infinite, okay, so you're not going to have an infinite amount of things on your lap. It is out there happening. You have to tweak your frequency into that frequency in order to attain what you want, but it exists. Okay, but if our frequency isn't out of line and we're in lack mindset, we don't experience the abundance. So 7 wands in reverse, 8 wands in reverse, and the Mother of Swords in reverse. So this is like this Ace Swords in reverse. Just give me a second. Sorry, I thought I heard someone knocking on the door. Okay, so the Mother of Swords in reverse, Ace of Swords in reverse. So yeah, like we don't know, you know, like we think we know, we really don't know, and this is why we can't see clearly. Okay, so the universe is putting us in a situation where maybe we normally use our logic and we'd see clearly, or we'd be able to navigate based on our wisdom. There's a reason why we can't fall back on this, because this isn't a thing of the mind, this is a thing of the heart. Okay, so there's no need to fight, there's a need to surrender, and there's a need for us to allow ourselves to see why we're stuck or why we can't move forward. Okay, and the only way to really have a breakthrough and move forward is to lean into a great truth. That is, the universe is going to guide me, and I'm going to be like this fool. Child energy, okay, trust in the divine, take a leap of faith, allow myself to fly. Fool is baggage free and ready to go with just nothing and learn from the experience. Okay, 2 pentacles, so there's this indecision and maybe being up and down or back and forth, or thinking I don't have the pentacles right now or the thing or it in me, but the lack mindset, okay, that we feel we need something, and so we might be going back and forth about it, but it's like this is the mind that creates this turbulency. 4 of Cups, I think you're not happy. Okay, and Spirit is just showing you're not happy. There's a big hole here. Okay, we might want to make more friends. Maybe we want to connect. Maybe we want to be accepted, or maybe we just feel like something's not right here, you know, with whatever situation we might have with the person, place, thing of the past that we're connecting on some sort of level, but when it comes to what we're experiencing here is falling short. So when we have 9 wands, so this is the resilient warrior. Spirit is saying you have it within you, okay? You have it within you to go through whatever this is. Whenever you might feel like is not going to happen, just trust in the divine that you have it within you to accomplish what this is. But we have to be in the right energy, and the right energy is this Fool energy, okay? And putting down our wands, and maybe knowing where we are defensive here, because this is a defensive energy. And so when we're defensive, we keep things out. We have lack mindset, thinking we need to be defensive or protect ourselves. So Spirit, what does pile 2 then need to know in this message? Can we answer any questions they may still have? Anything I've missed? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Thank you so much, pile 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed. With the 3 of Cups showing itself. So 3 Cups is reconciliation. It's the party card. But it's also not allowing ourselves to get deep, you know? Like this is friendship. Okay, but are we only getting, you know, to friendship level? Are we allowed to let our hearts sort of connect here? Or are we feeling too vulnerable, or we don't know how to trust the heart here because our mind keeps getting in the way, so we don't make deep connection? 6 Pentacles, or are we feeding your energy? I need to balance something out here with the 6 Pentacles, Son of Wands in reverse, and the Son of Pentacles. So the Knight of Wands, reverse, the Knight of Pentacles, 10 Cups in reverse and the Page of Pentacles. And we have the 8 Swords in reverse. So getting out of the mind, like we said, 5 Pentacles in reverse. Get us out of the lack mindset. So there's the Sun and there's the Magician in reverse. Leo, Gemini, Virgo. And what's under that? So we have the Ace of Swords in reverse again. Okay, let me sit here with this energy. Okay, so same messaging. Spirit is showing you're on the path of enlightenment, okay? And enlightenment gets closer to the authentic self. The authentic self will connect with the divine in a way here that knows what the absolute truth is of the heart. The heart isn't tainted by experience and thought, because that's all subjective, okay? Yes, it might be your truth, might be your reality, whatever. Everything is true under this sort of universal, the universe and experience, okay? But what is the great truth here is the divine truth. And the divine truth here is laying in the heart, okay? Nothing's good, nothing's bad when it comes to the heart. There just is, okay? There just is. There's dark and there's light. It just is. And so we're coming close to this enlightenment and this understanding. And in order to do this, we have to break up with the mind. Okay, now this doesn't mean the mind is bad. This just means we need to know when the mind is getting in the way of enlightenment, getting in the way of us seeing manifestations. So we can't manifest what we want, okay, if we keep feeding into the mind story, because the mind story is the illusion. We think we know. It's the limitation. You're limited right now because you keep going back to your mind, thinking that you know. And I don't care if you're, I was going to say, what's his name? Einstein. I don't care. Okay, don't care. Because the most intelligent people, okay, on earth, scientists, whatever, whoever the hell they are, okay, very intelligent, are probably the most spiritually dumb people, okay? And I'm not judging them. I'm just saying, they don't have, you know, the heart intelligence just because they have mind intelligence. So we need to know what's happening to us in order for us to be at peace, in order for us to manifest abundance here, because I feel like you are being aligned up to manifest something great, specifically when it comes to your joy, your happiness, your pursuit. Right now you can't pursue it because we don't know what it is, because we're too focused on the limitation and the mind and thinking we know. And so we can't get deep, we can't connect, we can't create a 10 cups here if we're always stuck on this 3 cups. This 3 cups doesn't allow us to get any further than this. So I feel like you're being called to do some sort of manifestation here that's going to take some time. Okay, but the time it's going to take is really up to you, because you're the one who's going to dictate how long you stay in this 8 swords, not the universe. So are you suffering? Are you seeing lack? Are you complaining that you're not seeing what you want, or the manifestation? Well, the only way to get out of it is to get out of your mind and to see a great truth here. What are you feeding here energetically? Okay, look at that, the 4 cups under that. So you're unhappy because of your mind story and what you're feeding. So as of today, we're going to do our very best here to understand that we're still keep falling back in mind stories, and we're going to keep tying it back to this is impeding my manifestation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trust in the divine, and I'm going to see that there is a better way that I don't see, because I have humility to admit when the divine is going to know more than me. I trust this. I know this is true. And I know that the heart has more intelligence than the brain and the mind. Okay, that's a given. And so let us trust this. Okay, because the brain can wrap around that idea, because it needs logical sense. Okay, so just fall back on that logic and then allow the experience of spirit to convince the mind. Because once you experience abundance, once you experience, you know, the positivity here, once you experience the connection, then the mind has buy-in, and then it doesn't resist, and then it doesn't get in the way, and it doesn't create limitation. But if all its experience is limitation, it's going to start projecting that. Okay, so I feel like the universe wants to give you deep connection, manifestation, abundance, and there's a need for you to allow this to be. So final words for beautiful pile 2 before we close this out. And we have the Page of Swords, and we have 5 swords. So lots of mind again. Okay, so early understanding. Okay, this is early understanding of something, and I feel like we have a lot of conflict in our world right now. Okay, with people, situations, it's not working, it's combative because the mind keeps trying to make sense of it, and it can't understand it. It's like at this level that can't understand or comprehend the real great truth of what's going on here. So all it comprehends is what's it's seeing here in its mind. Okay, but that's not really anything except for material experience in the 3D. Who cares? It doesn't mean anything. 5 cups, so now we're sad. There's the 10 swords. Ending of the mind stories will put an end to the suffering. Okay, and this could be very painful to go through 10 swords, because when we break up with the mind, okay, it's painful for somebody maybe who is very much, I don't know, like peacocking about their mind. You know, I'm very intelligent. Okay, well, an intelligent person, they wouldn't to keep at this if they know that they're limiting themselves. An intelligent person would see that abundance exists and wants to receive this abundance. So they'd have to trust, you know, and they'd have to know that their heart is truly where the intelligence lies. So there needs to be an end here, an end of suffering. Okay, and I feel like the suffering is your own sort of staying out in the cold because of the limitation of the mind and us trying to understand something that isn't going to be comprehended by the mind. There's the star, getting our wish, and there's the hangman. So we got to see things differently and work with the divine, because this is about being enlightened. We might not see it, but the bat is sort of blind here, but navigates through sonar, and this is kind of like navigating with the heart, not with the mind. We don't see. It's just trusting. And it's getting to where it needs to go, and it's seeing differently, having a 180 perspective here. Maybe I know nothing, you know, and really letting go of the mind. I used to control with the mind or see with the eyes. Now I'm doing the complete opposite. So you're being called to do the complete opposite. This is death. Okay, this is death of what we know in order to manifest our great wish. You're being guided towards this. This is all spiritually guided. You're fated to manifest something here, okay, to attain your desire, your wish, your hope, the vision you have for whatever you want for the future is yours. But right now, all you're seeing and experiencing is this sort of nonsense, and you have no one to blame but yourself, okay? This isn't the divine, this is you, and this is the transition. But the transition doesn't have to be painful. You can get through it here if we're just trusting this heart and allowing things to go all upside down on us, because it will get clear, but it has to go upside down for us to experience the upside down, for us to understand something differently about self. Okay, so this is your reading, beautiful pile 2. I hope this helped you, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, beautiful pile number 3. Well, these messages are not all maybe the greatest, I don't know, but hopefully you guys resonate with whatever's coming through here. I can only deliver what I feel, but I feel like with this group, you guys picked card 32, Ancestral Guardians of the Light, spirals, and this guardian angel or this cherub angel looking, sort of just watching over. It's a little bit, I don't know, like it's waiting for something. It could be waiting because of the spirals here. So what this card is about is like our soul tribe. Okay, the ancestral guardians of the light. So it could be like, yeah, soulmates or family, but our friends or just our soul tribe, our soul people. Okay, it could be one person or many people here, but sometimes we are called, okay, to lead groups, and sometimes we can get very exhausted, and so we have to follow. You know, obviously we don't follow blindly, but sometimes we get pulled through challenging situations by people who are sent to us at the right place at the right time. So we don't always have to be in a position of strength, you know, because sometimes showing strength is saying I can't right now and I need to follow or I need to fall back. So I feel like maybe we've been carrying, okay, I feel more like we're carrying someone, and it's getting tiring here. It's getting very tiring, and because I feel like we feel we might not be getting anywhere. And so we might have been doing a lot of repeat things here, or feeling very stuck, like it's not getting anywhere, and we don't know. And it's like I'm trying to heal, or I'm trying to do the right thing here with this angel, this guardian angel. Okay, I feel like this could be your energy. Okay, but I do also feel this is talking about you being divinely guided and protected here. And so we might feel like we're exhausted here. Okay, but we're doing something here, I feel, for our soul family. But as a spiral, this is giving me really the spiral of ascension and the spiral of healing. And so what this means is it's not linear. Okay, it's not linear. And so the spiral at the bottom, okay, at the bottom of the spiral, so think of it as going upwards, it has this big base, you know, and so there's these big circles we do. And so on one side, it is challenging and very difficult, and on the other side, it gets a little easier. And so we experience periods of easiness, and then the spiral moves up a bit. And so now we're back on this side, experiencing challenge, and then gets easier. And as the spiral goes up, it's sort of coning. Okay, it's in a cone shape here, just like this. Imagine this 3D pop out. Sorry, I wish I had some graphic here, but what I'm seeing is this cone pop up. And so at the top, we have this little spiral, you know, and so our periods of suffering are very small, okay, because we've done the biggest healing sort of at the base of this spiral, but the spiral nonetheless kicks out. And so we're ascending, we're healing, we're progressing. And so we're not spending many days, weeks, months in the suffering, because that was the base work. So I feel like the base work has been done. Okay, periods of, I think, dark night of the soul, or very difficult challenges with people. But I feel like you've been a pillar, I feel here, of leadership. I feel like you've been either really sort of guiding someone or a situation here, or a blessing in some sort of, I don't know, group of people, or leading some sort of mission or some sort of divine purpose. Okay, I really feel like you have been doing this. So I'm getting inner child from this child as well. So I don't know, maybe part of you had to connect to a certain part of the inner child here in order to stand in your authenticity, you know. But I feel like maybe we're still waiting for something, or we're just unsure of something, because it's taking quite some time. Okay, so let's see what this messaging is about for you guys. This message from Spirit. So we have the Hunter of Paths. Okay, so like I said, this is divine path or purpose. Hunter of Vision. We see something here. The Uncharted Sea, number 46, or the number 10. 10 is all about completion, ends of cycles, and transformation. It's also the Wheel of Fortune, okay, which is a divine path. Okay, when the Wheel of Fortune shows up, this is what we're destined to sort of do. The universe has the wheel. It's also the sun, which is enlightenment and joy and bliss. Listen. You're being asked to listen to your inner voice. It's been guiding you to do something or say something, and it's time to act on its wisdom. It's time. You're being asked to move forward towards the dream that you've been carrying in your heart. Look at this boat, and there's a little star, like it's navigating towards its North Star. Okay, so move towards the dream that you've been carrying in your heart. It's time to bring it out into this world. You're ready. It's time. Wowzers. So we have metal. And we have Garden of Venus. Rest and renewal. 25. Or the number 7. 7's chariot energy. Cancer energy. We also get Aquarius energy. Chariot's about balance and movement. Rest and renewal. Time. So we have stabbed in the back here in this oracle card. So the green always gives me the heart chakra. The blue gives me self-expression here. And we also have the yellow and the red, which could be the root and the solar plexus, or the orangey color, which is the sacral. So we have a pitcher of water being poured out, and be expressing emotions or allowing feelings to flow here. We have death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. And we have imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. Well, this looks like nourishment for sure. Imagination. Letting the imagination run wild. We have this swift, or the swallow, okay, which is the sailors would set free in order to see how close they are to land. So there's definitely a journey we've been on for quite some time. See if we get to land. 4 is stability and structure. 4th house is about home, family, roots, emotions, okay, also about foundations and mother, children, femininity. And we have choosing experiences wisely with number 17, or the number 8. So let's see what your message is here. Pile number 3. Let's see. You can click straight away on the channeling of this message. I'll put the timestamp below. Vision, metal. Okay. Pile 3. You have beautiful energy here, you know. I feel you're very patient. but I feel like something has been taking quite some time here. And I feel like it's time for a break out of the energy of you having to pull some weight. Because I feel like you've been pulling a lot of weight here, you know, but I feel like it's time is whatever you've been trying to manifest or row towards, this vision you had, this aim you had, this path you're on, this journey thing that has seemed to be not getting anywhere, or just sort of slowly inching its way there with a lot of suffering or a lot of setbacks and a lot of challenge, I feel like is about to manifest here, okay? But I feel like Spirit is really showing like this adaptable state with this metal, okay? Because I feel like there's the only thing here that can kind of get in your own way is if you start to sabotage self, okay? Because we're so close here to this finish line and to aligning with what we were sort of set on course with. And I don't think a lot of us had a map. And so it could have been very easy to get discouraged. We knew we were on a path, we knew we were guided, but we're in this uncharted sea. So we're without a compass, not knowing where it's going, feeling like it's very turbulent, okay, and sort of trusting the divine here and having to pick up the weight, having to be very adaptable here. But now we're like, well, how close are we to land here? And so Spirit is saying during this time, the whole transformation has been happening to self. Okay, so a whole transformation is happening to self. So we can easily fall back into a sabotage way here if we don't understand that everything that's been happening has been happening exactly as it should. Okay, and that our imagination is the only real limitation we can put on whatever it is we're about to experience. But even then, the divine can take the wheel we were feeling here with the Wheel of Fortune to the greatness here that's about to be manifested. And so we have to allow ourselves to be open to give still and receive in a way here that doesn't block this manifestation. Okay, and to know and be very in tune with our energy when we might be sabotaging or when we might be getting in our own way here. And so this means when we take action, we have to still check ourselves. Is the action I'm about to take one because I am tired? One because I'm trying to get to the land right now, you know, or is this action I'm taking still in line with what I've been sort of committed to and flowing with, trusting the universe, allowing things to fall into place because I'm very close here. Okay, this transformation is happening, but I feel like we don't want to throw a wrench in it if we start to deviate from what it is that we were already committed to here. So we might be very close to, depending on where we are in the spiral, to throwing in the towel, because I feel like when we're on the hurting side or the difficult side of the spiral, we might completely disconnect from the divine, you know, and those are difficult times. We lose trust in what we were doing. We lose faith in trusting blindly. We start to talk ourselves out of it. We start to sabotage. We start to be our worst enemy. We start to get negative thinking or assume that the manifestations won't happen. We start to put a bunch of limitation, start to choose to say things or do things here that don't help. Okay, so Spirit is saying, like, you're definitely manifesting whatever it is here that you've been working towards here, okay? That's been very difficult. I feel like you're leading something here on this path. You've been leading. There's no need for you to fall backwards. There's no need for you to start to tell yourself or feel as though the opposite is true. So we're listening to the divine, we're listening to ourselves, and we're really listening to our own sort of actions and movements. Because if we're not really in tune with our own sort of intention, we can slowly start to do things that could be sabotaging this journey, so to speak. Okay, so we got to maintain strong in our vision. Okay, because I feel like we don't know the navigational map, but we do have a vision or an understanding of where it's supposed to get us, our North Star. And it's saying hold strong in that vision. Okay, you're being melded here. I do feel like I want to read this metal. So I'm getting like this hot molten lava with this metal, and see what is the metal about. It says, some say that metals are the bones of the earth, but if you think about it, metal is more like the solidified blood. Once a metal ore is collected, it is heated up, often to a liquid state so that it can be transformed into tools. We still define progress in civilizations by when their inhabitants moved beyond stone tools into harnessing bronze, followed by iron. There are myths that speak of metals as the flesh of deities, long hidden within the earth. The ancient alchemists believed that metals held not only magical properties but also spiritual connections. Our exploration of metallurgy has yielded beautiful works of art as well as terrible tools of destruction. Messages. Sometimes it is only through the heat of a crucible that we are able to take on our best, truest form. The blood of the earth is the same as what runs in your veins. Recognize the divine within you. Our tongues can be as sharp as knives. Do we seek to create a feast or to find fault and friction? Our deeds are like long-reaching swords. We can choose to defend or destroy with our actions. And we're talking about the sword or the knife. So, I don't really think you need this message, but maybe you're in a low point here, and we're only human. So, we might be going through some downward spiral here. And now we want to, I don't know, fall back in some old way here, maybe get some sort of immediate vengeance here on something, or say something here out of where's it coming from, maybe a hurt, maybe an energy here, because we're tired. I feel we're tired here, okay? And so sometimes we have to be the bigger person. And I know I say this, and so we can say, well, why do I always got to be the bigger person? And if we're in that mindset, and then we're pulling out that knife, because now we're going back into these egoic ways. Okay, the ego is trying to make us victim. So all we can do is stand in the purest light, and that's what you are. And you're pure light, okay? I feel you're a leader here, and you're navigating towards something here. So we don't need any hiccups. We just stay in line here. It's time for this manifestation. So 5 Pentacles. Under that we have the Father of Swords, which is the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So we have Justice, Libra energy in reverse. The 9 Pentacles. And we have the Tower. And we have the Hermit in reverse, Virgo energy. We have the Hierophant in reverse, Taurus energy. We have 2 Cups. And we have 2 Wands in reverse. So what's under that? 6 Wands. Okay, so it's easy to fall back into the ego, okay? Because the ego is always sort of there. We just have to be aware of it. And the more we're aware of it, the more we work on it, the more we see ways of the ego that is discouraging us, that we want nothing to do with it. Because we see the motivations in self and in others very clearly, okay? But once we start to act on egoic ways, which is held in the mind, okay? But the mind is nothing but a function of the body. It comes up with all sorts of thoughts. Some are true to us. Well, all are true to us, but only the ones that are actually true in the objective truth are the ones that we should be acting upon. If we start acting upon the truths that we believe to be true, we start to get different results here based on those beliefs. And so I feel like Spirit is just reminding you, what is the thoughts we have here? Is it driven out of an ego? And are we, falling back to be a victim of something here? Because we don't need to be a victim here of the 5 Pentacles and be in lack mindset. If we're experiencing injustice, because I feel you're experiencing injustice or imbalance, remember that you are the one in control here. You are the one that can stand in your own confidence to build your own thing. So if you feel 5 Pentacles, you will be 5 Pentacles. If you're 9 Pentacles, you're 9 Pentacles. No one else or nothing else can dictate this for you. Okay, so I feel like there could be a situation that might try to throw you off of your understanding here, okay? And if it tries to throw you off of your understanding, you might suddenly, I don't know, fall back in this old way, okay? And the old way, I call it old because I feel like this is a more ascended sort of group here. The old way is a victim mentality, or a way that falls back in ego or tries to do things here that I feel you don't need to do. I feel like you want harmony in partnership, okay? So this is like relationship, this is finding balance, this is harmony with others here, and I feel like this is your reality here that can happen, but I feel like there is no need for you to go out of your way to to actually have to chase or do a path or go down a path here that is in the egoic sort of realm. Because I feel that's the only choice you have is, should I react to this or do whatever to this thing that I feel I don't know, like if you experience this tower, it's like you can retaliate, or you can, you know, start to come out of your value system, what it is here that you learnt, and fall back here. You don't need to. Okay, you really don't need to. You can stand in your 9 pentacles here and know that you are in control of this. Hangman. So we might need to gain a new perspective here. And the new perspective is one that's in line with the divine, and seeing a situation that we could see as a tower, and we could see it as something here that's, yeah, that's like a need to retaliate, or we can accept whatever this is as something and see it in a different light here, that we still can maintain some level of balance, some level of restoration, rather than seeing it as something that is really unjust or imbalanced here. Okay, because I think both are true here. Both are true. And so we might want to restore some sort of justice, but I feel like, what is the motivation behind this, or what is the intention behind this, you know? And we don't want to be sporadic with this. We want to make sure that it is in line with our deepest, truest sort of reflection and value that we've been working towards, that we know that we confidently stand in our power. We don't want to be sitting out in the cold anymore. Okay, and so I feel like there is this tower thing happening here. Okay, and towers happen, but it's how we respond to these towers that matter. And so because we're so close to the land here, like I said, we might have to be the leader here. Okay, the leader to get to the land, and we might be very tired, but I feel like this manifestation is how we unfold in this sort of last test, if you will, because now is the time that this manifestation is about to take form. And so we might be known to sabotage last minute. You know, how many times something about to manifest and then we pull the plug here because we start to buy the victim story, you know, or we start to sabotage ourselves by saying, yeah, no, I'm going to do, you know, what I always have done here in the past. And so, final words, Spirit, clear and concise message, any questions that pile 3 might still have. The 4 of Cups, I think you're not impressed. 6 Cups, and we have the Hierophant in reverse, the 9 Pentacles in the exact same spots, the 3 of Cups, the 10 Pentacles, 5 Swords, 4 Swords, the Daughter of Pentacles, that's the Page of Pentacles, and then the Hangman, Pisces, Taurus. I think you're not impressed, okay? I think this is a snapshot in time, because I think things aren't manifesting right away as you would like. And so I feel like there's a need for you to remain in your sort of leadership energy, okay? Remain in an energy here that is cordial, okay? And when we're the higher person or the bigger person here, sometimes it's very difficult to maintain this sort of energy. But I feel like the long-term thing of what you're trying to build here is what truly matters here. And so if there is a sabotage, okay, of this planning, I think it comes from self, because how you react here is really going to be the driver of whether this turns into a 5 Swords or just a tower that we understand as something. Okay, so we have to really be in line with our value here. And I think you know better and you understand better and you don't want to sabotage. And so if we're going to take action, we take reflection. We understand all the healing that we've done. We understand what it is we're trying to manifest here. And I feel like the time here is for this beautiful manifestation opportunity to show itself. And it will, as long as we don't expend our energy here with the 5 Swords. Okay, so if we got to pull back here, take some time to reflect, to do some healing before taking action, to sit with a great truth, to understand again what it is that we value so we can find the right answer, you know, then let us ponder here. If we're unhappy emotionally, it's saying don't take rash action, because any action you're probably going to take is sabotaging yourself and potentially a situation here and anyone else involved here. Okay, out of what? Maybe out of expressing something here that might be very temporary here. Okay, I feel like we don't need to. So I do want to get, though, what it is the Spirit's going to show here with this tower. So, Spirit, what is it then that... and it could just be our mood. Maybe we're just tired, you know? It's like, when do I get to land? Why do I got to be in this leading position here? This path doesn't end. I'm very seasick here. I'm turbulent. I don't see where this is going because I'm in the spiral. And so is it getting better or am I getting further away? So now we start to sabotage. 9 cups and 7 cups. So am I getting what I want or am I in complete confusion here with the 7 cups? You know, like 7 cups is complete sort of confusion here. Victory card in the reverse. So am I going to win? There's kind of like confusion around whether I'm going to be successful or not. Am I going to get what I want with the 9 cups? Okay, so now we just got to trust the divine. There's the devil. So do we want to fall in the ways of the devil, Capricorn energy? Or do we want to stay in line with what we know is true? Okay, and I feel like what is true is the divine truth here. And so we have to understand when we are in the devil way, there's the strength in reverse. So we could just give in to this devil energy. I feel like the tower is the devil rearing its ugly horns here, okay? And then the world. And there's the Ace of Cups, and under that's the Lovers. Okay, Gemini energy. So there is a path here with the Lovers, okay? For some of you guys, it could certainly be like a relationship or connection. We saw 2 cups. But whatever it is, it's some sort of path here, destined path here. Okay, that speaks to your heart space. It requires you to be in this open, loving, receiving, giving energy to have this beautiful new beginning of this manifestation. Okay, in order to do this, we need to close out completely any sort of things that might get in the way of this path, the obstacle in the way. And I feel like any obstacle in the way would be tied back to this devil because the devil's trying to hold us back into old ways, thought patterns, unhealthy things. Okay, and so we could get into an energy of imbalance when we start to work with the ego, thinking that we're, you know, deserving of this, that, and the other, and start to make this laundry list of things here in our mind. Or we could just trust that emotionally we'll find this happiness and be given this happiness when we trust the divine, and when we lean into the heart space, we will be emotionally happy. But if all we're seeing here is like this 7 cups and we're not quite seeing the way here, we might feel like we're failing. And so then we start to lean into devil ways. And not the strength that we've been building or working upon. So spiritually asking, don't let go of the strength, of the courage, of facing what you need to face in order to close out anything that's keeping you in unhealthy patterns, making you choose things immediately to sort of fill your cup immediately, okay? Because this journey or this lesson is something that might, yes, be taking some time, but it's forming. Okay, and it's closing out, and we have to close out in order to have a new beginning. Because you can't have a new beginning or space for new if we're still dealing with the old. And so there's still devilly things that need to go away here. Okay, in order for there to be the path, in order for there to be this beautiful sort of partnership here with the Lovers. Okay, yeah, Ace of Wands, new beginning. So there's a new beginning here for you that's manifesting. I think you're dealing with one last sort of tower. It's coming from within. It's because maybe we don't feel we have the strength enough to keep going, you know, because we're listening to the devil ways. So devil doesn't have to be something we listen to, because the devil, when we listen to it, we start to create sabotage. And it's only an illusion that we feel is there. Daughter of Swords and the Sun. Yeah, so the truth is to understand with the Page of Swords, the real truth. Understand where the joy is. Understand the clarity. The sun casts its light on the devil. It shines a light on the devil. The devil no longer exists because the devil isn't even a real thing. Okay? There's only darkness when there's absence of light. When you bring in the light, there's no more darkness. That's all this devil is. Darkness. Okay? Absence of God light. So now we have the light. Now we understand some great truth and some clarity. And now we can enjoy this beautiful light. Okay? I feel the light is coming for you. The joy is coming here. But there's a need to really not look at what it is that we don't have just yet, or what it didn't work immediately, okay, because we might not see it, or we might still be a little confused, but the sun is rising here. It takes time here, and so we have to maintain inner strength. We can't start sabotaging and saying things and doing things here that go against what it is that we know, okay? So closing out a cycle, something beautiful is manifesting here, and I do feel it's going to make you absolutely happy, but not just this immediate gratification that fills your cup temporary. I feel like it's something here that is fulfilling for you, you know, because it's here with the most positive card in the tarot. Like, you get exactly what you want here, true ultimate happiness. But we also learn how to walk the enlightened path here, you know, how to understand this, which I feel once we know it and we close this out, we don't have to experience anything like this no more. We've put an end to all of that sort of more matrixy energy that 99% of society is still stuck in. Okay, this is a beautiful ascended pile that is still human, you know. And so I feel your guardian angels are sort of watching over you and saying, hey, like, is this below your, you know, below your what you've learned here? Because maybe you're feeling frustrated, and so just bringing awareness to you and saying, is this in your highest good? Is this something you really want to do? Allow yourself to still be in line with the manifestation, because you're manifesting something beautiful here. And so allow the universe to smooth over and bring justice. You don't have to seek it yourself. Okay, you don't have to seek the justice yourself. All you got to do is just trust the path, trust the divine. Even if you don't see, you know, you're going to your North Star. That's what you're focused on. Everything else will iron out. Okay, and so you will be on land soon. You will get to rest. You will get your reward and your new beginning. But we need to keep ourselves in check here, you know, and really the listening here is to ourselves, because I feel like we could start to deviate, you know, deviate from our truest sort of value with the Hierophant in reverse and do things that aren't in line and then regret it. So this is what I have, pile number 3. I hope this helped you. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.